Yo, it's really from the 305. Y'all know the deal. We live. We about to react to a video of some guards having a shootout from active self-protection. Let's go.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Active Self-Protection channel. I am so grateful that you have joined us for today's educational lesson. I am your host, the founder and president of
They
Active
got a long
Self-Protection,
behind beard.
John Correa. Today's video comes to us from Mogadishu in Somalia. Today's video is brought to us by 360 Hazardous Cleanup, your trusted resource for trauma, biohazard, and environmental cleanup. But they're not. Now these two guys here are what they are is guards that are assigned to the mayor's office, and there are a couple of them, and you can see they're armed with handguns, and they're going to
They
get
got
after these
pistols.
guys. And the first guy's going to come up the stairs here, and they're going to get after him with their pistols. Now you're going to see again, you're talking about a fight, pistols against AKs, and so they're going to exchange some rounds. And at least one of the rounds of our guards is going to find its home. So you're going to see these guys come back up this way a little bit. Our guards are trying to figure out where the heck they are. And obviously here, these are not like hollow core, little crappy interior walls. I think this is a block building because it seems like it's stopping bullets. And what's going to
These
happen
niggas
here is
really
you're going to watch
risking
again.
their
I sped
life
it
for
up for
this
the sake of
job.
time. They're going to come up, see this guy again, and get some more shots at him. But he's going to make it around there. He's clearly wearing some kind of like ballistic protection on his vest here. And you can see him, he's kind of
You
got
gotta
his
have a
rifle
vest.
kind of like
Cause ain't no
cradled
way
in
they
his
missing all
arms,
these
got back
shots.
up here as well. But if you're paying attention, you
Like,
can
come
see he
on.
is dripping blood pretty dang good out of one of his
Ooh.
arms. And that is major arterial bleeding. Now, again, going to watch here now, top right, you're going to see our guard who is going to fire over. There's a little bit of overlap over what we just saw. He's going to fire down at these guys, and then he's going to retreat up this hallway, trying to kind of keep away from these guys. Both the guards are going to retreat up the hallway,
Nigga,
and I'm going to let you
juggernaut
watch
there?
this at its regular speed. So now our bad guys are coming up here. If you go read the news stories that I've linked in the description, what has happened here is they ended up, I think, killing 6 of these insurgents in this series of attacks. They're known to do this kind of stuff with regularity. This is an Al-Qaeda backed group that does this all the time there in Somalia. So now you're going to see the second guy show up. He is not right this second bleeding that I can see, but the first guy you can see, he left a trail of blood. He is badly injured. I don't even know if he knows it, quite frankly. So that guy's going to kind of just shoot through this office way a little bit. I don't know if there's any people in there that are taking those shots or if he's just kind of firing randomly and indiscriminately. But, you know, again, watch what goes down here. It's going to get even crazier. These guys are going to kind of end up pulling grenades out of their stuff. They're going to pull like a little bottle grenade out there and start
This man
futzing
is
around with that.
leaking blood.
And eventually they're going to start employing those grenades. I'm not even
Like,
joking
what?
about that. So you see them kind of go around the corner and try to figure out what the heck they're doing. And we're going
You
to cut
really on a
over now
mission.
back over to the guards who are just a little bit farther down the hallway here. As these guards are headed out, you're going to see one head into the left, into the door there. The other one's still futzing around with his gun. We're going to talk about that his gun is seriously having some problems. He is going to run off down the right, and now watch our dudes come back, our insurgents. They're going to come back. Now, this door that's on our left, you're going to see this guy come up, and this is our injured guy here. He is trying to figure out what's going on. He
Gotta
can't
go
get
for the
into the
head,
door. As
bro.
soon as he opens his arm up
Ain't
there,
got
you can
no
see he's
helmet.
badly
Straight
injured. That's where
headshot.
the major arterial bleeding's coming from. And he's just going to shoot through the door. And that is eventually just going to wear a porthole in that door. He's going to get it open. I don't know if he ended up getting that guard or not, or if that guard was able to get him. But now watch what goes down. It's going to be difficult to see here. They're going to kind of back up out of there, and then he's going to toss one of the grenades down in here, and then they're going to back up. 3, 2, 1, kablooey here in just a second. And you're going to see them here. Oh, sorry, I was a little bit early on that. You're going to see them look at it again and like, what am I going to do here? No, okay, fine. Now we're going to see the grenade come into play here in just a sec as they just toss it down the hallway. Boom. Trying to figure out what the heck is going on with them. It's the first grenade attack I've ever seen that we've ever had on the
Uh,
channel of any kind. And I don't know or think that anybody got injured in that because, again, I'm pretty sure this entire building is built out of masonry. So I'm not so sure that that's going to do anything. I think they definitely see that there's a guy in there and they're trying to figure out, can I kill this guy here? Can I get rid of this security guard and get another grenade in there? Again, they ended up taking out 6 of these insurgents. 16 people were injured in this event as well.
Damn.
There are a number of lessons out of this one. I just want to say here in the mid-roll that
What
I
the
believe the
fuck?
right to self-defense is a universal God-given right. So it is not
That
dependent
man
upon
was
being head
leaking.
into the left, into the door there. The other one's still futzing around with his gun. Those grenades, I'm not even joking about grenades out. You can see, but the first
He
guy, you
just
can see he left a
walking.
trail of blood. He is badly injured. I don't even know if he knows it, quite frankly. So that guy's gonna kind of
And they
just
were
shoot
just
through this
dumping at
office way
his
a little
ass with
bit.
a
I don't know if
pistol.
there's any people in there that are taking those shots or if he's just kind of
He gotta
firing
be on
randomly
something.
and indiscriminately.
He
But,
can't be
you know,
sober.
again, watch what goes down here. It's gonna get even crazier. These guys are gonna kind of end up pulling grenades out of their stuff. They're going to pull you know, like a little bottle grenade out there and start
That's
futzing
crazy.
around with that. And eventually they're going to start employing those grenades. I'm not even joking about that. It's a universal God-given right. So it is not dependent upon being a citizen of the United States in any way. All people all over the world have the right to protect themselves and their families from violence like this. That's why the lessons that we teach are from all over the world. You know, I know some people are going to say, well, this is in Somalia, it's in Mogadishu, this is where this kind of stuff happens. It doesn't happen in the U.S. It hasn't happened in the U.S. a whole lot yet. We have had pretty bad terrorist attacks on our soil, but we better be prepared for that. And I also want to pay attention to the fact that, okay, you got a bunch of guys coming in with rifles. What are you going to do? You only have your pistol on you. Well, if I'm security in this kind of
Hit him in the
environment, I want
head.
to have rifles available to me for sure. But if all I've got is a pistol, okay, I can win a fight with a pistol against a rifle if I know I'm good. But the first thing I really want to say here is remember, your first shot is your best shot. We see this all the time on defensive encounters, and I absolutely think here in this kind of event as well, they have the drop on this guy. He is absolutely not paying close attention, not aiming his rifle up at him. And if they have skill with their pistol, this one, at least this particular bad guy, never comes into play again because I wouldn't necessarily put one in his chest because he's wearing that body armor. It gets stopped by stuff. I don't know
Clearly.
what level of armor he has underneath it. But the bottom line is that I wouldn't put one in the armor. I would put one in his head.
That's how
And
you gotta do
headshot totally
it. The
justified
head.
here in every capacity. You know,
They
shot is shot is shot
fucking
when you shoot somebody.
dumping shots and
But you
this
better have the
man still
skills to do
walking.
that here at about 10 yards. And quite frankly, the average concealed carrier doesn't. So if you can't say for certain that you could under stress, then you better start training, friends. You better get out there and get going after it. But you can win against a rifle wielding attacker. You just have to have the skills to do so, the attitude that can back that up, and a plan to be ahead at the end of the day. Now, again, these guys I don't think are highly trained professionals, and you can tell that here he's trying to get his gun in the fight, but he's using one hand on the gun. And so, again, he's kind of holding on and then using one hand on the gun, and he's not having super great success with that. Two hands on the gun is the way. He also, I am 99.99% positive here, has a malfunction with this gun. Can't tell you enough. Now, again, you're in Somalia. I can't tell you what kind of equipment that you're getting in terms of issued equipment, what's available, those kinds of things. In my world, and what my recommendation for all of us is please make sure that you have quality equipment, that it's thoroughly vetted, that you know that it's reliable, because you don't want to have these kinds of malfunctions in the moment. You want to know how to clear them if, God forbid, they happen, and they can happen. But you don't want to end up having them because you've got crappy equipment or you got an unlubed gun or you haven't maintained it, those kinds of things, right? Make sure that your equipment works. It's very thoroughly vetted, and it takes me at least 500 rounds to do that with a new pistol, and then make sure it's lubed at the very least, right? Now, this guy's coming up. I want you to recognize he's badly hurt, right? He is bleeding profusely, and yet he's still a deadly threat. Now,
Crazy.
that bleeding is coming out of his arm, and just because you hit him doesn't mean he's down. You got to shoot him until he's done fighting, not till you
Very.
think he's done fighting, till he thinks he's done fighting. Now, I actually like that these guys are giving ground in the moment, finding themselves places of opportunity in order
That
to
man is
better
a
protect
juggernaut.
themselves and have a better place where they are in charge rather than the bad guys being the ones that determine where the encounter is happening. So finding those places to launch counter ambushes where perhaps you have cover is very, very wise. But what it really looks like to me here is these guys with the pistols feel like, man, I am just fighting kind of a flanking action to get everyone out. And maybe that's their strategy, and if so, maybe that's effective. But I think the most effective strategy here is, nope, I'm going to put a bullet in this guy's face so that he doesn't shoot at me anymore. And that comes, again, from an attitude that says, nope, with a pistol, I beat this guy with a rifle all day, every day. I'm not going to put one in his arm. That's not going to stop him for minutes and minutes and minutes. I'm going to put one in his face, so then that way I know I've got the skills that I can do that, and I'm better with my gun than he is with his. I think clearly it's pretty clear here that our guys with the rifle are not highly skilled, and that's what we've seen again and again and again in
Crazy.
real encounters. that active killers like this, terrorists like this, are not highly skilled with their firearms. We've never seen kind of the varsity team show up, and thank God for that. But even if the varsity team shows up, guess what? If you're varsity as well, if you know how to
They
play
just
and you know
walked
how to,
out,
hey, I
got
am
away.
really good with this. And how might I know that I'm really good with it? Well, listen, if passing the FBI qual is 100% endeavor for you all day, every day, and you don't worry about it, great. Okay. Maybe then you can start to think you're in that environment. And if you've never shot it on the camera, or not necessarily on camera, but on the clock and accounted for hits, then
All right. Gotta wrap it up for another video. It's Willie from the 305. Y'all already know the dilly. Uh, drop another video soon.